Before we begin this video, please click on subscribe, ring that notification bell, and like, comment, and share. Hello everyone, my name is Dragon. Today we're going to talk about why VRR is important. So, the Sony X900H has gotten a VRR update as well as auto low latency mode, aka ALLM mode. So the thing is that when you're playing a game when you're playing a game, all right, any type of game, whether that is competitive or non-competitive, which is a casual game, a story-driven game, or just like a general open world game, you might get few dips in the frames and you would get some frame drops or some stuttering or screen tearing, depending on whether the Vsync is on and off. But with VRR, those issues will be gone. So let me show you what I mean when I say those things. So we're going to start this Nvidia G-Sync demo of Pendulum. So as you can see here right now, if I turn on the Nvidia like FPS counter, I'm running at like you could say between 40 to 50 FPS. For the X900H, the VRR ranges from 48 Hz to 120 Hz. So I'm gonna change that for a bit. I'm gonna set it to minimum. Let's put it at like 50 Hz minimum, and maximum like 60 Hz, because that's the common like most of the TVs out there are at 60 Hz. So this is to demonstrate how different this can be versus the normal 60 Hz display. Okay, so now we have three options here: Vsync, no Vsync, G-Sync. Most of the displays out there do not support G-Sync, aka VRR. So developers tend to turn on Vsync when they develop their games, because without Vsync there will be screen tearing. So when you engage Vsync, there is some rule or something that must be obtained. First, I mean, it depends on your display's refresh rate. But commonly, most of them are 60 Hz. So in 60 Hz display, you gotta achieve either 30 FPS or 60 FPS. But those FPS need to be constant, so they shouldn't be dropping. But when you're getting at 50 or like some number that's like not in the like between 30 to 50 to 60, let's say, or lower than 30, you get weird frame pacing, and also you get those stutters. And sometimes when you turn off Vsync, you'll get screen tearing no matter what. So now Vsync is on, all right? We're between 50 to 60 FPS. You can see that as this thing moves, you can see that there's some weird slowdown, or like something that's known as stuttering. Like you can see the pendulum doesn't move smoothly. It kind of stops in the middle on the way. If you focus hard enough, you can see it. Focus on the edge of the pendulum in the direction of, like, depending on where it goes. For example, if it goes left, focus on the left. If it goes right, focus on the right side of it. Then the difference will be clear. So this is with the Vsync on. what if we turned off Vsync? What if the developers like decided to turn off Vsync? Well, if you focus, I mean, you don't even need to focus, you can already see it. There's some weird screen tearing. Just look at the pendulum as it moves. You can see some weird screen tearing, or like some lines. Those lines are known as screen tearing. You can see that as this thing moves, it's as if the pendulum is being cut or something like that. I'll raise the FPS to show you clearly. Yeah, now it will be more clear because I've set my camera to 60 FPS. You can see that there's some weird screen tearing going on without Vsync. But when you're using G-Sync, if I change it to G-Sync now, you can see that it's all smoothened out and there's no screen tearing, no stutters. But yeah, you can see like there's some weird effect on YouTube because YouTube doesn't support I mean, it kinda does. You can see it, but you will still see weird stutters if I show it to you on YouTube, just like that. No matter what screen you have. But you can, I mean, if you focus, you can see that it's not stuttering like before, versus when, like, if I change it to, if I set the Vsync to on, if you focus hard enough, you can see, I mean, yeah, it's still looking like stuttery when it's looking stuttery when I turn on Vsync. But with G-Sync, it's like better. But this is not locked to, it's not limited to 50 FPS. You can use it for 120, 110, 90, 70, 75, 79, whatever number that's between 48 to 120. The VRR can support it. So let's start the game to show you more examples to make it clearer for you. So I'm gonna start GTA 5. I'm gonna get into the online server, GTA Online, because it's more demanding than the story mode, and the strongest PC out there hits like at 90 FPS when playing GTA Online. So this will be a perfect test for VRR mode. Alright, so now in a session of GTA Online, and as you can see here, I'm running at like 100, but with potential drops to 90 FPS while some action is going on. So yeah, now normally you wouldn't be able to play at this FPS with Vsync, and if you turn off Vsync you would get screen tearing. With Vsync you would get stutters, but with G-Sync you don't get any of those. You don't get stuttering or the screen tearing. I mean, the only way to play this with by using Vsync is to lock it to 60 FPS, but that would still have higher input latency than normal. Versus when you're using G-Sync, you can get higher FPS and no stutters, no screen tearing, and higher and lower input latency. It's also a good case when you're, I mean, if you're running at 60 FPS no matter what, and you're using Vsync versus G-Sync, then G-Sync is the one to go for, because with G-Sync you don't get high input latency, because Vsync uses it uses some technique to remove the screen tearing, but as a result you get stutters, or even if you're locked at 60 FPS for example, you'd get high input latency, higher than usual. versus the when you're using G-Sync. It would be much better, smoother, and screen tear free, as well as lower input latency for competitive advantage and much better experience. So as you can see here while I'm going around, it's so smooth. There's no stuttering at 100 to to potentially going to 90 FPS. There isn't a single stutter or screen tear. It's all good. Oops. Yeah, that wasn't intentional, but I would have done that either way to show you that it's all going. It's all good. So yeah, like that's what VRR is for. And if you're looking for a TV with VRR, the X900H is the one to go for because it has great value for everything that it offers: 4K 120 VRR, ALLM, HDR, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, Netflix calibrated mode, you name it, you get whatever you want, and good um, color accuracy and stuff like that. 12-bit color, and you got and you get what's it called, local dimming. Yeah, and um, for the price, it's a bargain, I would say. So yeah, that's it for this video for now. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. Uh, if you have any issues with your TV or anything, I'll try to respond as soon as possible. See ya next time. So yeah, as a reminder, subscribe and ring the bell and all that good stuff about liking and commenting and sharing, and goodbye. See you next time.